The Gong guy in the trailer sounded way better.
True.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like hitting pop cans or soda cans.
Well, and like what it was for is completely. It wasn't like an alarm. It was like go to bed, curfew, wake
Yep.
up, morning. It had a different effect this time.
Everyone, welcome back to another Andor-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back. It's been a long time, Drew.
I know.
Couple
Been
hours
solid
since we
2
recorded last
hours.
episode. So we're back. Season 1, Episode 2, called Episode 2. Yep.
What did you do in the last 2 hours, Jeremy?
Well, I edited the audio.
Oh.
Watched this episode twice. Had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ooh.
But sometimes I don't know, my computer for my other computer I use for editing, like the performance mode wouldn't work, turn on. So like it was like going slow to like render out the audio. I don't know.
So you're gonna have a fun time editing the video.
The editing's fine, but it's like trying to render like
Render.
export or whatever you want to call it. It was gonna go super long. I didn't have time, so I had to I couldn't do that. So, but
Well,
hopefully my computer's not broke because it worked fine last week when I edited. But it would just take an extra few minutes to export, but that's fine. But anyway, you're not here to talk about my technical difficulties. So, Drew, last episode you gave it about a 7.5. You're a little slow. What do you think about this episode? What are your overall thoughts of episode 2?
I liked it a little bit more. A good 8. I don't know. It was fun. It was fine. I like how where the story's going. Like, I think it has some good potential. I think there are some parts I'm like, what? Didn't really make sense. Like, they watched their friend die and then they freaked out when she died when they could have shot the dude a million times with the spit guns before that.
I think they were all looking at her, and Cassian was the only one that saw that guy get up, and now he has to live with that shame for the rest of his life.
Oh, I just assumed they're all watching it from a big point of view, and they didn't realize that dude. Like they just were like, I don't know. They look lost. So I don't know. It kind of like, dude, just shoot the dude. Like, what are y'all doing? I don't know.
And even if they did shoot right away,
it takes 4 million
shots.
Yeah.
So
they all had to reload like twice to get the dude down.
The guy had literally like 35 things in his back.
Yeah. So I don't know. Besides that, I thought it was a fun episode. Like people are saying, like it's definitely not a kid show. So you guys know. I know we got a lot of younger listeners and viewers, and so y'all know you might want to make sure you can watch this before you start. There is some suggested things going on, to say the least.
Right. So, yeah, I still think it's slow moving, but it's like it's picking up.
Yeah, and like it is slow, but I think what is going, I think is really good. Like,
right. So
it's very. It was making you stay in the zone. I think so. I don't know. I like it.
I think we're kind of like you said, like where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird though because like it's very small. Like where it's going is a very small story. He's being hunted down because he killed those 2 guys. So it's like it's trying to fit that into the idea of, he's going to join the rebellion, a more organized thing, and so that's gonna pretty happen in episode 3. He's gonna get recruited for that. Looks
Hmm.
like, but I don't know. It's gonna be this plot line that we've been given, and then what we know is going to happen. There's that disconnect, and so I'm like, how are these gonna overlap? How are they gonna work together? So
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna be a. Hopefully, it's done. It's written very well. I'm hoping that that's how it is. I hope it's not like, oh yeah, he left with this guy next episode, and then the murder investigation is done, and blah blah blah. Like,
No, I think it's one of those things where he honestly might have to end up joining this dude and end up being part of the rebellion because what he did kind of pushed him into hiding, and this guy can take him off world better than where he's about to go.
right.
And
So
so with that, it seems like at first he might not want to join the rebellion, but they're able to protect him, so he's kind of forced to. And then throughout the show, he's gonna develop a love for the rebellion. It seems like it's going that way. I'm not sure, but I just thought it was. I think it's a very interesting concept. And this dude is that girl's boyfriend's a rat, bro. A little
hey,
snake. He's a little snake in the
hey,
grass.
he thinks some other guy is taking his girl.
And you know what? He
You
should
do the
be.
same thing. You do the
He
same
should.
thing.
Well, I wouldn't.
If you saw Stephanie out
I
having
don't
coffee
know.
with some other guy, and then you saw on your phone, oh, there's an alert for a guy who's being hunted, you're gonna turn that guy in.
I would probably beat up the guy first. That's about it.
Empire Radio does not endorse
I'm
violence of any
just
kind.
saying. I think he best. I think you should confront Andor instead of just rat on him like a little snake. Not realizing he's also ratting on his girl.
Right? He doesn't know that. You're right. He thinks this whole time she's been sneaking around like, oh yeah, I gotta leave to go get parts. So now he's probably thinking
Meanwhile,
it's always about leaving to go to be with Cassian. So it is kind of shit. But we'll get into that later. But so we might as well just jump in scene by scene like we always do. So right after that, it starts off with the tribe of kids on the move, going through the jungle, trying to find this down ship, and they come up to a big, huge opening where there was a mining area,
accident.
which we saw the mining thing in the trailer. That was
Hmm.
like one of the main images we would get, and so you could tell that it was not in use. And at the very end, you see like a big machine that's like rusted and broken down and out of commission. So, like, okay, this place has been abandoned for quite a while. Um,
And I think like my prediction in the last episode and the breakdown of the trailer, it seems like he they're in hiding all these younger kids because they weren't working the mine, but everyone on that planet died. So like his parents were technically killed by the Empire, and so he's been fighting the Empire
see,
since.
I don't know. I have to go back. I've watched this twice, but I gotta go back again because they said yeah there was a mining accident,
Hmm.
but I don't think the mining accident was during Imperial rule.
It said that.
No, it said it was labeled by the Empire as a toxic site, and that there was a.
It said by there was a mining accident. It was a mining imperial mining facility that blew up.
I don't think they said that. I think they said
I'm pretty sure they.
there was a mining accident,
Yeah, help me out.
and then the Empire labeled it as toxic because it would be too early for it to be the Empire
Would it
because
though?
if he's a kid, like a little kid, like this is we'll get into this later, but the people from the ship that had the masks on that
Hmm.
they had separatist symbols on it.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
So like this
Oh
is
yeah, maybe it was
so
just.
I think it was just an
Then that doesn't
abandoned
make sense that he's been fighting the Empire since he was 6. They
like
dropped the ball on that.
what we said what you said last episode was that this is when his parents died when he was 6 and he's been on his own since 6.
Well, so, but yeah, maybe they just he's been on his own because his parents died in the
Yeah,
mining accident.
that's what I'm assuming. So like I think there was the site was This is a regular mining site, and then for whatever reason, there was like a toxic something
Yeah.
that killed everybody. And then when the
It was
Empire,
interesting that why they're green, those guys.
well, I think they were poisoned or something, and then that's just what happened to their skin because they had the masks on, like they were like suffocating from a gas thing. That's what I interpreted it as. But
Yeah.
like so, then when the Empire is going to every planet, they come to this planet and realize that it's a toxic wasteland basically, and like, oh, this planet's worthless to us, and they just labeled it as a toxic planet.
Yeah, because they
And
didn't have Empire logos; they had Separatist logos on there.
Right, and so then that's probably why no one has ever heard of this planet, because like his buddy that's trying to get him transported off the planet, him and the other coworker guy was like, no one's ever heard of this planet, blah blah blah. Like that's probably why, because the Empire just kind of like says it's people are prohibited from going there because it's toxic. So
yeah,
so that's the first flashback from the episode, and so this mining facility, this looks old and run down and hasn't been touched in a very long time. So, and then we get next scene is this the drum gong guy from the trailer. I'm like, oh man, the best part of that trailer was the loud echo, like musical, like chime type thing.
Yep.
And he hits this, and it's just like, oh, you just banged on a soda can with your hammer. Like,
yeah, it was very
tinny.
It was anticlimactic.
Yeah,
situation.
so they should have just kept that edited in there with like the extra ring. But
yeah,
this was at night, like when like the day is done, work hours are done. Him kind of like saying everyone go home. So it'll be interesting to go back to that first episode, like when Cassian's waiting for his buddy to like start work, to hear if there's in the background the gong going off.
Yeah,
that'd be cool if they did that. But yeah, so everyone's getting off work, and closing up shop, blah blah blah, and it goes to Bix at her workplace, where we saw last episode, and she just goes on the computer, reading something, and then when her boyfriend thing, whatever that you want to label that is, he comes in and she turns it off, the screen off right away. But then he goes on to the computer after she leaves, because like they're like, he's like, hey, you want to go on a date tonight? And she's like, oh, we said we only do this once a week. Well, let's start the week this week or tonight. And she's like, well, we can just do that tomorrow. So then she leaves and he goes onto the computer, and then it's a message that was sent out by the security headquarters from Marlani. Was it called Morlana 1? And just saying, Canary male on Furic is wanted by us. Contact us with any information, blah blah blah. And so he lit up like, I know who one is. And then did you like how they put that on the screen? Like it popped up.
Yeah, it was sick. I thought it was pretty good.
It's kind of like they did that kind of with in what's that show? Miss Marvel. Like when like people were like texting.
Oh, I never watched that show.
When people were texting, it would go up on the screen, kind of like that.
Yeah, I think it's better than like showing like a version of the screen and assuming people read it fast enough, you know. And it was not even. It was in whatever that language is.
Arabish, whatever it's called. So, yep. So there's that message, and Tim basically it clicks in his head that it's probably Cassian. And then after this, it goes to like this house of this old lady that I'm guessing is the one who owns the droid B2. And so we don't know exactly who she is. Like her name is Marva, but like who is she?
She knows exactly everything.
Right. And so Cassian has his own bedroom at her place. so and then he has that ship in like the junkyard. So I guess the ship in the junkyard is kind of like where he hides stuff, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and goes like to like when he's not out when
It's
he's
like
not
his hideout.
kind of like a hideout when he's doing illegal things or something. But like his friends go there because from last episode, 3 friends go looking for him at that
Well, they
hut.
didn't say it was there. It could have been just at that girl's house too.
Oh, maybe I guess it didn't say.
And
Oh, yeah, so then last episode. Oh no, because that guy was made that mom joke, right?
yeah, so maybe he was talking about
Oh,
her.
okay. Was it you to
Because
tell
it
your
seemed like the
mom to
droid
turn the heat
went.
up or something?
Yeah, it seems
Okay,
like the droid went there to tell Cassian that his friends were looking for him at his house. So
okay,
my guess is like that's not his real mom, but
right.
someone that helped him get off the planet. And I'm gonna make a wild guess. It was probably someone that was inside that crash ship.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. There's a
There it
prediction.
is. So I think he goes into that ship because they all leave, and he goes in there by himself, and he finds her, and then she helps him and his sister get off the planet, but somehow they lose his sister. And so everyone assumes that's his mom, but it's actually not his mom.
So she's a separatist scum.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's probably what happened.
And honestly, like if you think about it too, it would make sense because she doesn't want people to find out because she probably was supposed to go back and report it, but she didn't report it. She's dead technically.
That's probably true too.
So she's in hiding herself. And now that they know that they're looking for Cassian, she's in danger because that's where Cassian lives with her.
Interesting. But it does say she does mention that she told who Cassian was to her family.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like she had family on this planet
Yeah.
and then she went here,
I don't know.
this planet.
It's
I feel like we're
interesting.
not gonna get a lot of her though. I really like her though.
I think she's going to die next episode.
Dude, her acting in that when they're yelling at each other.
It was so good.
That's like some of the best stuff in all Star Wars right there. Like,
Yeah, dude, she's a
give
beast.
her a show.
She's good, but she's dead next episode.
Oh, whether it's because she gets killed or because she's just so old, it's about time. Like
something. Yeah, she's not making it past this, and I don't think the droid's making it past this next episode either.
yeah, okay, that thing should have died a long time ago.
That thing
like,
is barely alive. And okay, so when that guy was flying in, was he talking to K2SO?
no,
What he was just talking to his ship,
it was just the navigation.
navigational.
Because it says
I was like, for a second, I was like, is that K2SO he's talking to?
no, because the subtitles are weird. It's what does it say? A Fondor droid mod.
Yeah, but K2SO was a mod.
But he's not a Fondor from the planet Fondor. He's an Imperial droid.
I saw a mod and I was like, wait, is that K2?
Okay, it could have been one of the mods from Tatooine. You don't know. What do you mean?
True.
No, that ship was moving too fast to be a mod ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're arguing about what happened because she has B2 play that or read, I should say, that message sent out about the and I can't even remember the name, the Kenari person that they're looking for, and so they're in panic mode, blah blah blah, and so they're trying to figure out who could it be that he had told, and the old lady Marva, she takes shots at Cassie. She's like, "What? All these girls you're with? Like this girl?" She listed off like 3-4 names, and then B2 is like, "What about Bix? Leave Bix out of this." Like,
yeah,
dang, Cassian. Maybe. Well, no, I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, so um,
And we forgot to mention in the top of this episode, but we have not watched episode 3 yet. So
right.
these predictions that I'm making
We
off
have
the
no idea.
cuff, I
Yeah,
have
we
no
have no idea.
idea. And so if I'm saying something, you're all like, "You're stupid," and don't turn it off. I just don't know yet. Okay, it's all predictions. So don't stop listening to this episode because
Yep. And then, so while in this argument, when Bix is mentioned, B2 also says that she tried to call Cassian, but like something like his B2's comms failed. I think it was he must be the phone of the
I
house.
don't know. That boy needs to be charged or something. That
And
boy.
so he says like the comms failed or something. So then he couldn't like take a message or whatever. So then he goes Cassian goes out to meet Bix at a bar. So they're sitting at the bar. He kind of tells her what happened a little bit and that he needs to get off planet. And he's like, okay, I'll even sell you that piece I'm trying to sell to you. I just need money to get off the planet because I'm kind of screwed right now. And so, but she's like, but the buyer is coming tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
And
it
so it's
was too
like,
late to change the time.
right. But so maybe I'm wrong, but is the buyer Luthen?
Yes, 100%. Wait, you didn't understand that?
No, I'm making the conclusion now.
Oh yes,
So I'm guessing
100%.
so that's kind of weird because
Why
he's
he's buying Imperial stuff because he's part of the rebels. He's
right,
trying to.
but the trailer seemed to make it sound like he's just starting like he's now inspired to join like a rebellion, but like he's this continual underground black market buyer.
Who?
Like
Luthen or
yeah,
whatever.
like
No, I think he's part of them. I think that's part of his persona so that he can get information about the Empire. So he does go do and buy Empire related things
but
to
is
help
that
them fight
but is
them.
that the only thing that I don't know because it's
She
like
just contacts someone that she knows that would buy that, and he would
but
buy that because he needs the information on the Empire.
yeah, but she says that he goes there once a month to like buy stuff. Like, is it only like Imperial technology?
Probably somehow Cassian got that, which doesn't make sense because I'm
Well,
confused by that more.
that makes Cassian's getting that makes more sense than why Luthen is involved.
But why? Because there's no Empire presence on these planets. So you had to go very far out in order
Right,
to steal
but my
that
point is like
information.
I don't understand why he's just getting random parts of
I don't
things.
think it's random, dude. I think this is a big top secret thing.
I don't
There's
know.
something with this, like you said, it could be maps, like guidance systems for travel and only Empire. It's like, or maybe it's like a key, like if they travel through like these highways or whatever, like they won't get flagged because only empires are like Imperial people are supposed to be flying through these.
Maybe.
We don't know enough information on what this is, but I don't think it's a scrap metal or anything. Like it looks like it's very important.
Well, that piece does. But like
Yeah.
I said, I just don't understand.
I think he goes around and tries to find on these planets, he has connections with these people and he's going around trying to find more stuff to help them with their battle. And at this point, like I said, I think Andor's stuck and he's about to get taken by these other people and he ends up just going with the buyer because I don't think either of them can go back. Something's going to happen. Neither of them are allowed to go back to that planet.
I don't know. I'm sure they'll tell us.
Yeah, we'll find out next episode. But I just think, yeah, I think he's Andor's tie into the Rebel Alliance.
Well, right, we know that from the
Yeah.
trailer, but like, I don't know. I just from the trailer, I just felt like this Luthen guy was
new
never
on it too.
like he's gonna join the rebellion efforts at the same time.
Oh no!
Andor is. Like
it
they're gonna
seems like
like
he's already part of it a little
join
bit.
together, but because he's like because the trailer he's gonna say something like I turned my head for too long or something like that. Now I'm just realizing how bad it is, but I don't know. I'm sure we'll get answers. But anyway, Bix tells Cassian this that the buyer's coming, and while they're having this conversation, the Tim, the boyfriend guy or whatever, he's in the distance watching, spying on Bix on what she's actually doing. So then he gets going crazy, thinking that they're that she's cheating on him with Cassian. So he goes over to some like Star Wars payphone thing in the rain and contacts the I'm never Morlana 1 security headquarters, and oh crap, this is it. This is it. And so then it goes to the security headquarters while we're getting this report, and they're looking up this person, and they're like Cassian Andor, but he's from the planet Fest, like blah blah blah, and they think it's kind of fake, but then they get like an image of this person, and the main guy, which we know his name is Karn, Karn. So now we have a name for that guy, Karn. He's there, staring at this image hologram of Cassian, a younger Cassian, who has a record of like scuffles with the Empire. And so that's probably why he's on this in the system, because the Empire isn't really there. And while they're looking at this, the lady from the brothel from the first episode comes in. So she's going to confirm that this guy was at her brothel, blah, blah, blah. So I guess she's not going to get shut down because she gave them information. I don't know. But that's how that checks out about how they are going to confirm who Cassian is.
Yep.
And then next scene, we're just going to say Bix went to Tim's place to have a little conversation. That's all we're going to say. And then after that scene, it goes back to the security headquarters, and we are introduced to Linus Mosk, who we saw from the trailer. And this guy is a cool, I don't know, I kind of like him. He's a very like we need more enforcement. We need more we got to stick to the book and follow the rules and enforce laws and blah, blah, blah. And so he really connects with Karn's, like, yes, we have to get these guys because 2 of our men were killed. Like, it was kind of like a camaraderie of these guards and their higher, huh? I don't think they're not evil. They're not. Why do you think they're bad?
Because, dude, you don't understand that the whole point of this is like they're gonna join the Empire.
That doesn't make them bad.
No, I mean,
most people join the Empire thinking it's good, and then they realize it's bad.
Okay, but
they're not bad right now.
It seems like this guy is. I don't know. From that, it seemed like they're both power. They're getting both of them are getting a little power hungry. And what's his name's speech was so bad later on.
Okay, that's the point of that. But
yeah,
like they're doing what's best for their people, and it's when you allow lawlessness, and people do whatever they want, then like your society is going to crumble. So like if we just enforce rules and policies, like people are going to stand in line better. And again, it's from the first episode, the head guy was like, the Empire wants to look at our crime rates. And if they are loose on enforcing laws, the crime rates are going to go up, and then the Empire is going to come. So it's like, yeah, enforce rules, and then the Empire won't come. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't think they're bad. I think they're just normal people wanting what's best for their planet.
But the same thing is like they're supporting, like they're so mad about the killing. Like the other guy was like, they should not have. we should take this more seriously because it's 2 of our people were killed. But those people, the other guy was more right about that, was that they got into a fight drunk and they died because of it.
Right, but they don't know exactly what happened. They just know that
Yeah, but
people
the
are
other
dead.
guy does. Like the original guy knew that these people were, and remember, he also said that guy was not good. The other guy should have died a long time ago.
Well, when they got killed, yeah.
Yeah.
But when bad people are killed, it's still a crime. And if someone off planet came to your
Yeah.
planet and killed someone, like
I mean, I get it, but at the same time,
at the same time,
it's
it's okay to murder bad people. Apparently,
in certain situations.
nope. Empire Radio does not support the murder of any individuals and of any kind. I don't know. I'm on team.
I am not on team. These
I'm
guys are
on.
crap.
I'm on team
Oh,
security headquarters.
okay.
I'm sure they'll turn bad eventually, but I don't think
Not
the
eventually. I think they're gonna turn bad in the next
I
episode.
don't think the main guy is going to turn bad. I don't think Karn's going to turn bad.
Oh,
Maybe that guy is more genuine than the other guy. I'm talking the new guy, Linus.
I don't like the new guy at all. I don't know how you.
The
can
Linus
support
guy,
the new
he's
guy.
more like gun ho, but like of these two, Karn is like the most level headed and like wants to like have
Yeah, I think
justice at least.
he's
like,
about to bite off more than he can chew, and he's gonna end up joining the Empire, and then he's gonna regret it, and probably end up being a good guy at the end of the day, potentially. But
I don't know. I like Karn. I like the
Jeremiah likes order, you guys, and order, and
yeah. We're Empire Radio. The Empire is all about order. Like
yeah, but we're what?
we're not like we're not called let people do whatever they want radio. Like come on. Anyway, I like the new guy, even though yes, he's gonna turn to the Empire. Karn is gonna turn to the rebellion. That's what's gonna happen.
I would be okay if the new guy dies in the next episode. I'll be happy.
Oh gosh. But yes. So then after this scene, it's a weird scene because it wasn't explained, but it goes to Marva sitting in her house. She's sitting down, looking all world, and then like pans down to her wrist, and she has like a bracelet on. So is that like a?
It looks like she's like under house arrest.
Yeah, is that like what that is?
That's what I got out of it. And if you got out of it the same thing, I think we're both right then.
Because I just don't know like what else that scene was for, other than the show that she has. And so it's like, is that why she has that droid to like leave and do things for her?
Maybe
because she can't leave her house. But it's like I just didn't understand that scene at all. Like because it had no context. Like it was just thrown in there. Like it should have been like a deleted scene or something. So,
that's funny. But you and me both got the same thing from it, so it's probably that.
So yeah, so that's this little thing. Like, what is that scene about? We'll probably get more information eventually. Next scene, Cassian goes back to his junk ship and gets that device, the NS9 Star Path unit, and it's just this fancy little contraption. It's like probably like what, like a 6-inch cube size or 8-inch cube size thing with some electrical work. Like I don't even know exactly. It has the Imperial symbol on it.
It almost looked like the front of what's his name, our Vader's like suit a little bit. The lights and like the redness.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Probably not. It just had that feel to it.
Yep. So he gets that, and then there's a flashback to back to the kids finding the ship. And there's a couple. So they're on the ridge looking at it while like the main girl is kind of like telling him what to do. So she goes down there by herself, and then all the kids go around, make a perimeter. Okay, I'm like, something's gonna go down. I'm like, who's in this ship? Like, it's kind of like, because then it was like, obviously it's pretty damaged, but then there's like yellow like smoke coming out of it. So I thought like maybe that's like a toxin that poisoned them, and that's why their skin is yellow.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and so then this is when we see Lucan again. Or wait, this is the first time we see Lucan, right? Yeah, this is the first time we see Lucan. We were talking too much earlier, but so he comes to his planet, lands, and it's like from his perspective, from what we see from his perspective, it's like a deserty planet, really rocky, kind of like Grand Canyon colors, rocky. Yeah. I'm like, okay, what planet is he on? Like, why are we introduced to him? We don't know anything about it, and it's like looks like there's kind of more mining stuff in the distance. I'm like, okay, all right, we finally see this guy. We don't know exactly what his story is. And then it cuts to after Bix and Tim have their conversation, and she asks, "Do you have any calf on or available?"
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you have a big conversation with someone, what can you drink, Drew?
Well, if you wake up in the morning and you need some caffeine, you should probably drink some Wesley Andrews.
Wesley Andrews coffee and tea. Do you think they have that on Furick?
Well, I like to call it calf every once in a while, so I assume so.
Oh, cool. Well, if you want to drink the canon coffee in Star Wars, listen to this ad from our sponsor, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. And so then they go about their day. She says she's going to go run errands.
Well, she was going to make him open the cafe or the place.
Oh, yeah, the store. And she's like, I got some errands to run first.
Yeah. So he was being a little shady. He didn't sleep, I guess, that night. He was staring at her.
I don't know. I feel like it was the first time they had a conversation.
Nope. That's not, dude. For real, that's no. He's worried. Like he is getting sus of her now, bro. Jeremiah,
I think
that was not their first time.
I don't know.
No, because he wasn't happy. He was like,
right. But earlier in the episode, when it's like, oh yeah, we'll have a date tomorrow night, she just gives him a kiss on the cheek. So I was like, oh, they're not really.
They're not out there. Like it's like not a public thing.
Because it sounded right, but I felt like it was a very like they're just going very slow, casual. Like they're not going all in.
Jeremiah.
And they've never had a conversation before, so
no, they have a conversation once a week. That's what that meant.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll get off this topic. Next scene.
Well, no, it's important though to show that he's being shady, because even she was like worried of him. She was like, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't sleep well that night." Like he is sus of her, and when she says that, like, "Oh, can you go open the cafe? I have some errands to run." He was like, So I think in the next episode, he's going to be following her again. I think it's a very important thing.
Okay.
Jeremiah's just like,
I don't know
no,
anything.
They've never conversated before. That's
I
their
don't
first
know anything about this
conversation.
stuff, so that's
Well, I'm helping you out a little bit. That's not their first conversation.
so anyway. It goes back to the old lady's house, and B2 is not in his charging station,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, goes into the back like, you better not have turned off your power back.
You
back
better
here
not
again.
power down back here again.
Or I'm
'cause
gonna be furious, blah blah blah.
Because I think when he powers down in a different spot, she has to like carry him.
Probably, and she's walking with a cane and all that
Yeah.
jazz. But yeah, so she goes into the back room where it looks like it's Cassian's bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
because like the blankets are like moved off, so it's like he got out of the bed. So
And his blow dart was there.
yeah, but what did it show first? Did you see what else was shown?
Yeah, his
What?
his toy.
And what was his toy?
His toy was a what's it called?
I mean, what's your favorite thing?
It's not a tauntaun.
The bantha.
Bantha.
From all the way from. Why did guys shove Tatooine down our throat every single?
Because it's the
Nobody-
best planet.
Nobody cares about.
And we
Tatooine.
don't know that banthas are. Maybe it's off-world bantha. We don't know if they're only.
Well,
on
it
Tatooine.
didn't have red eyes or
Yeah.
whatever. So whatever. It's not off world.
We don't know if it's. There's probably more places than just that has banthas.
I don't know. It's hard to say. But yes, she looking through and finds his blow dart, which like she seemed like she's never seen it before. But I'm like,
Yeah, I don't. Or she was surprised it was out,
are still out.
just hanging out.
Do you
Like,
think it's loaded?
maybe? But I think it might be like she is. Her seeing it made it like, oh, like he's been thinking about his planet,
Maybe.
kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I get more of the sense of like she's seen it, but she hasn't seen it in a while, and it was kind of like a shock for her to be able to see it.
Right. But I was thinking about, because I've been reading through the Thrawn books,
Mm-hmm.
and how like, so I just finished the second Thrawn Ascendancy book, and so whenever there's cultural art type things, Thrawn is always obsessed and wants to study it. So it's like, what would Thrawn say about this blow dart? Because there's like feathers on it and other designs.
Yeah,
and
he would
like,
analyze that whole thing.
I wonder what his conclusions would be on the canary blow dart child
You
warrior.
probably know right away it was from there.
The only person in the galaxy that's ever heard of canary
Canary, yeah.
was him. And just looking at art. But speaking of art, Drew,
Oh, yeah.
we have a little commercial for a little art project. I know it's just really close to our Wesley Andrews ad, so I'm sorry for
Sure.
2 little commercials together, but we're almost done with this breakdown. But yes, if you are new, we have a great opportunity for you if you are artistically inclined. So here's a little
Sure.
commercial from Lucy.
Hey everyone, Lucy here, and I'm pleased to tell you that some of my fellow Empire Radio listeners and I made a fantastic original Star Wars audio drama, all through sending voicemails to the pod. It's called the Voicemail Cinematic Universe. Here's the thing, we need your help. The Empire's goal is to get an illustration made by us listeners for every single voicemail, and we have quite a ways to go. So if you have any sort of artistic abilities, join the crew. Any type of media is welcome. Lego scenes, digital art, paintings, you could even make food art. If you answer this call to action, there's a link in the description that leads directly to a Google Doc. It tells you exactly how to submit your art. This whole VCU project will be 100% fan-made, and we can't wait to see everyone's work. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
All right, cool. We need a ton more entries, like 60 some entries still. So if you're new and you can do art stuff, paint, draw, whatever, check it out and just look at it. You don't have to commit. Just look at the link in the description and see if anything grabs your eye that you would like to submit for art for this project.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool making one long big video. It'll be like an hour and a half long of voicemails. So all right. Well, back to your normally scheduled content. And then the show goes back to the final flashback of the episode where the main girl leader is investigating the crash, and she comes across the body of someone, and there is the Separatist logo on his uniform. And so I want to say that this is like literally like Order 66 time, like in those few days on after.
Oh.
Because like once the war ended, it ended. So
Yeah.
the Separatists ceased to exist after the Empire was in existence, and so I'm guessing, I want to say that these people were killed by like part of Palpatine's plan, because like we know that Anakin kills all the Separatist leaders on Mustafar,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm guessing there were plans for other leaders or powers that needed to be taken out right at the beginning, and so if they were gassed, I think that that's probably what happened. Is there was that yellow gas that we see went on, and the ship just happened to crash because of it. So that's my guess. I don't know. Well, hopefully we get more information, but I think that's really cool that
Possible.
I think it's really cool that they made it Separatists. Like, makes it
Yeah, it was
interesting.
really cool. When I saw it, I was like, "Well, that's an Empire." Or
I had to look it up.
Empire
'Cause
logo.
I knew I recognized it, but I was like, no, that's not the Republic symbol. I couldn't remember what it was. Like,
yeah,
just had to quick look it up, and it was the Separatist one. So that's really cool. I hope we
Mhm.
get more information about that. And then,
well, like we know from like the Mandalorian, like they're not gonna just give us a logo and it not mean something.
right. Well, first I thought it was.
So did I for a second. I was
I
like,
thought it was the Kaminoan
yeah,
uniform
me
because it was the
too.
same color with like the light gray and white.
Yep.
I was like, oh dang,
Grogu. This is where Grogu lands.
Oh gosh, that would
That
have
would
been
have been
terrible.
awful.
That if they wanted to do it, that would have been how they could do it. Cassian's the one that like gets Grogu and like
Stop. Just
passes them off to Saw Gerrera, and then
Oh my gosh.
Saw
Please.
Gerrera hands it off to Kanan and Ezra because they meet up a little bit, and then that went crazy. But
Mhm.
yeah, so she looks at the body and thinks that he's dead. Goes to the next body that's hanging out of the ship, and so she kind of like pokes him, and he falls out. And while she's looking at the other body, the second body, you see from behind the other guy that she passed stand up, and so Cassian is watching him get up. I'm like, oh, is he gonna like take a shot and like he's gonna like save the day, and then he's finally gonna get respect from everybody because he kind of like is ignored by the elders and kind of
Mhm.
like seen like slow because he was the last to get to the ship and all that jazz. Like, oh, Cassian's gonna save the day, and then that guy just shoots the girl in the back without even like, hey, get away from him or stop.
That's so weird.
Like that's why they're Separatists. Can't trust the Separatists, right?
Guess not.
So
You heard it here first.
you heard it here first, folks.
Jeremiah likes the Empire only.
And I like that guy from the security headquarters.
you
That's
know,
a
you
cool
like-
guy.
You like the bad guys.
But I couldn't believe that he just shot her so quickly, like without even
Yeah.
asking. Like You
That's-
crashed on her planet. Like, what? She's not gonna go look at your ship when it crashes. Like,
I don't know. It seemed aggressive towards me, but that's I also said like for me, I thought that they were able to see him the whole time. And like they're just gonna watch this guy stand up and cap this girl in the back. Like what the heck is going on?
well, they might not even know what guns are. Like,
It's possible, I guess. I don't know.
they might not even know. So, and
Maybe
plus
not.
they're kids, and so like a lot of them, even if there were guns when the mining thing was in production, like they would have been like years
Babies.
younger, like
Yeah.
babies, little kids, and they wouldn't even know what guns were. So,
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
but like still, you haven't seen any other humans except for your village, and then it randomly shows up, and you're just gonna like not be weary of this guy. Like I thought Cassian was gonna like whistle or like scream, and like the
Yeah.
guy was gonna look.
Or
Yeah,
something.
because the
But-
girl like she clicks, like she does like a click thing to like tell them to surround the
Yeah.
thing.
Instead, it was like this.
Yep. Nice soundboard you got
Just
there.
crickets. Just nothing happened. They just let this dude die.
So right when he shoots her, then that's when everyone just starts blowing, screaming. They blow their darts, and then he gets. I don't think he got any of the kids. I don't think he shot any of their kids.
No, he didn't.
We
no
didn't
one
see
else
anyone
died.
get hurt. They might have maybe next
No, because
episode.
they would have like grabbed them too, because they all rushed down to see her.
Well, it is their
Oh.
leader, so
So I'm pretty sure he didn't shoot anyone else after that.
right.
But at the same time, it was like, bro, it took him 30 shots
Yeah, I was like,
to the back.
I thought, okay, yeah, you get him in like the back with like a thick thing, like yeah, just maybe not gonna like, go all the way through. Maybe that's what it was, but I felt like some of them like hit him in his neck and head and stuff.
Hmm. I think it just took that long to get to his blood screen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
That's probably more realistic.
Yeah, honestly,
That-
like it's not.
It's
Like,
not
when
like
you
most
shoot a
movies.
deer probably with that stuff is they're gonna run for a long time.
Yeah,
You gotta
I-
track it for miles before it actually goes down. So I bet you they just probably like it didn't get to his body yet.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest things I hate in movies is like someone will get stabbed with a sword or knife
In the
and they
stomach and they'll die instantly.
instantly
which is,
die. I'm like, calm down.
unrealistic.
Like unless it's like in your heart or in an artery, like you're not gonna
Yeah.
die instantly.
I mean, people you don't die instantly when it comes to getting stabbed in the stomach with a lightsaber. So
Yeah,
come on.
like you can get cut in half and survive that. And this guy,
Mhm.
people get shanked with like a 6-inch blade and they die instantly. Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of weird, but
but a flesh wound.
yes. But yeah, so all the kids, they pick up the leader, leave, and Cassian stays back and like looks back into the ship or at the ship.
Mhm.
Like he's gonna investigate like what the ship is because they don't know what it is. And so we do see in the trailer him like climbing into a ship. So I'm guessing that's what we'll see next episode.
And like I said, I think that's where he finds that girl, the mom or whatever. Her
I think
name is.
okay, because you'd have to think that at least someone has survived that's in there.
Yeah,
Maybe-
it wouldn't make sense. And like I said too, it's like she knew so much about his planet and was so worried about him
Right.
telling people that it makes sense that she would also be she would be someone hiding from that planet as well. But it's not his mom because they don't even look alike or anything. So
Right. And so I hope, yeah, it'd be cool if she's in there or maybe some other people in there.
mhm.
And then it'd be cool if we saw like a couple like B1 battle droids just for like security on the ship or something like that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But who knows? Or maybe like, I don't know, maybe like a radio message or something that's being played, like the war is over or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. But who knows?
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So then let's see. Yep. So then after this, it's where Cassian is trying to escape, goes to the guy to like get a ship to leave, and they're
Mhm.
like he doesn't know anything about this planet, like his coworkers like doesn't believe it's even a thing, blah blah blah, and they're kind of negotiating prices. But like he's like, yeah, this was a mining accident, and it was marked too toxic by the Empire for anyone to touch. So that's why nobody's there or knows about it, and so they negotiate to $700 for like and be ready in an hour to take me off world, blah blah blah, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy's name was Zanwan or Zanwen. I don't know if he's gonna show up anymore, but that was his name. Then after this, it goes back to the security group in transit. I really liked how they like. First of all, that ship that they're in is a cool looking ship, and then like they go into, but then like they circle around the ship while in hyperspace and like look into the window.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's cool. Like we've never seen like movement like that, like around the ship. Usually it's just like you see it going through and then you just jump
Yeah,
inside.
it's an ugly ship though.
It's ugly, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool looking. I don't know. Yeah, it's ugly, but it's like I guess I just like these guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you picked the wrong team, Jeremiah.
So the group of 12 guys, the team of 12 is getting a pep talk from Linus. And then Linus is like, all right, it's time for the other guy to have the floor. And he tries to come up with a speech. I don't know. He had a line. Like, what was the first thing he said? It was something like, the greatest risk of all is not taking a risk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think is cool. That's the very rebellion attitude. Like,
Yeah.
because people are too afraid to take a risk, and that's why they don't fight against the Empire. But you have to take a risk to start a rebellion. And so, like, if you don't take a risk, the Empire is just going to continue on. So I think that's pointing towards him joining the rebellion someday. But then he's trying to inspire them, but like one of the guys just like grabs his eyes and rubs his eyes because he's bored. And it was just like, oh gosh, get through this.
It was a really bad speech.
And then he's like, all right, I'm done. And then oh gosh, oh, it's so awkward. The Linus guy just starts to do a clap, like, oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. This is terrible.
It was so bad.
And then like, is this like zoomed in on one guy's slow clapping, like, bravo.
It was supposed to look bad. It was like it was supposed to be a bad speech.
And like, I think Linus, like, does okay. First of all, the Karn, I guess, is the superior to Linus, and like, so like Linus is like, yeah, like good speech is very inspiring. Like, so I think he's trying to like have his boss be more confident.
Yep.
I don't think it was just him like being a submissive person, like, because he's supposed to, like, I think he's trying to like encourage to like, yeah, like you're right, like keep going, like you'll get better at this type of thing, like even though it was still super awkward. But they're on their way to Furyk and to hunt down Cassian, because they all are coming with the plan, like, yeah, there's 6 people go this way, 6 people that way, do a pincer move. So they're planning it out, and we're going to see that next episode, most likely. And then the final scene is Lucan is on like an Airbus going to wherever he's trying to go, and he's talking to like, seems like a local. He's like, yeah, this land used to be a lot different years ago. I remember when we could just drive to like a site, but now we have to Airbus because like everything's changed so much. And
yeah, everything is like destroyed.
So that the old guy's name is Willie, and he says that he's in propulsion, so he can like make additions and mods to ships or something with propulsion things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that's gonna come back at some point. I feel like,
yeah, that's what I was getting out of it. Like that guy seemed like he was important enough that they told us his job.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna be like this episode, or maybe it might be later on. Where we're like, okay, I know a guy on this planet. We have to go back and get him. He can help modify their ships or something for whatever mission they want to go on or something. So hopefully we get to see him again. And so then Lucan is there for like doesn't want to say anything about why he's there, blah blah blah, and then kind of like looks outside and it pans down, and it's Cassian walking through the junkyard, and so that's how it ends. We're like, oh dang, it's the same planet. I didn't even realize it was until this point. I didn't realize that it was the same planet. It wasn't. I didn't realize it was.
I assumed
buyer.
The whole time. I figured it out right away. I was like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, he's a buyer.
Good job.
I thought it was obvious. I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a good episode. I mean, it makes me intrigued for the next episode. So
yeah,
I think it worked.
I think we're gonna get a lot of action next episode. So.
Yep, for sure. I hope.
Yep. So that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't really have many more predictions. It's kind of like it's a 3-episode arc, kind of. So we know how it's going to kind of play out. So it's kind of simple ideas like, yep, there's shootouts. People are going to escape.
Yep.
Rebellion's going to start.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah. So. Anything else, Drew? Any more comments, ideas, thoughts, predictions?
No, I'm honestly excited to just watch the next episode and break that one down, and yeah.
All right, cool. So, yeah, so normally, I forgot to mention this last episode, but if you're new, normally we do voicemails every episode. Fans, you can send in voicemails, but we just do that once a week, and so since there's 3 episodes that we're filming this week, we'll be doing voicemails next episode.
Yep, episode 3. There's gonna be voicemails. So.
Yep. So look forward to that. Anyone can send in a voicemail, and if you want a link to send a voicemail, go in our description right now. There's a links.co/Empire Radio link that has a landing. It is a landing page for all of our stuff: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us on YouTube if you want to watch the video versions of this, or also Twitch for live streams, which we're doing right now. And then our fan email, a link to needlesslynerdy.com, which is a podcast network we're part of. And also there is a link to send a voicemail. So you just click that link, record up to a minute long voicemail. You can ask us anything, comments. And as long as it's family friendly, more family friendly than this episode of Star Wars, we'll definitely play that and interact. We love interacting with our fans. Also, there's a link to the Discord too down there. Join the Discord if you want more deep dive discussions with people about the episode. There's a channel that's just for Andor that people can talk about. And yeah, that's about it.
The chat's wondering, overall, are we impressed by this show so far?
I think I still believe it's going to end up being the best Star Wars show we've gotten for live action. It is slow, like we said, it is slow right now, but it's setting up. And I think starting the next episode, we're going to get a bunch of action, and we're going to be getting a lot of like more like intense like planning. But I think it's still going to be more slow parts too, because there's going to be like Imperial Senate stuff where Mon Mothma is just talking about policy or something. Now I know.
I'm impressed by it. I think it's good.
I think and this is the first show that's not filmed in a volume, so it's going to have that different feel where they can have more liberties to go slower with the things that they're not constrained by. Oh, you have to be in and out of the volume in a certain amount of time. But I know season 2 is broken up into 3 episode arcs to do like each arc.
They've already announced that.
Yeah, so there's 12 episodes season 2. 3 episode arcs, 4 3-episode arcs, and so that will bring us up to Rogue One. So like, I wonder, even though this season takes place over a span of a year, if they're still going to do 3-episode arcs. Because like this,
that might be why they put out 3 episodes,
right? And
it's
so
the first arc.
This feels like a 3-episode arc that's going to end next week, and then end tonight for the 3rd episode, and then next week is going to start another kind of arc.
Yeah.
Where
Which would make sense why I also think that majority of all the trailers we've already got. So we're not going to see. Like, we pretty much got a majority of all the trailers already. Which, with that too, I believe that these guys, we're probably not going to see them after this next episode.
I don't know.
I
We'll
hope.
see.
Because unlike Jeremiah, I think they're already annoying.
You can hate Linus, but I don't think you should hate Karn. Karn is he's a rebel at heart. I don't know. That's
I
just
don't
me.
know. We'll find out. But yeah,
All right, cool.
go check out our socials, go do all that stuff. And if you guys are watching this live right now, you can send in your voicemails of your overall thoughts before we record the next episode. So send in those voicemails right now if you guys want to.
Yeah, because we'll
Um,
answer any questions for these first 3 episodes starting next episode from fans.
Yep.
So, all right, cool. Anything
Alrighty.
else, Drew?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, you've been listening to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
and may the Force be with you.
Always.